Welcome back to Timeout with J and G. I am Jay over here, and it's G over there.
Yo, what is going on, everyone?
And today, you saw by the title of the video, we are doing stock in each playoff team. So, pretty quick little rundown is every team in the playoffs, all 10 in the East and all 11 in the West right now, because we still know what the Rockets and the Warriors. We're going to figure out a stock value for them. You know, your teams that are lower in the standings have a lower stock value. Your teams that are higher, your favorites have the highest value. And we each have $100 to spend. And we're just going to take stock into any team we want that we think could go into a run. You know what I mean? Win a championship. And I don't want to say only because, like, I don't know how you've got it, but there's, like, a team like the Nuggets and the Celtics, because they're such heavy favorites, I don't know if I'm going to take stock in them because it's like we really don't get much of a return for that. You know what I mean? Like, I think take on some teams that are in the lower. I mean, we can do it whichever way we want. I'm just kind of – that's how I'm thinking of it. So we have a lot going on. That's going to be next up in the episode. But before we get into that, I know on Sunday you're like, hey, maybe don't say anything, but I need to hear your reaction to what happened with the was it Purdue Tennessee game?
So the refs, I guess, just don't call 3 seconds anymore. The offensive 3 seconds, because I know there's no defensive in college, but
is there not?
No, there's no defensive. Like you could literally, like Zach Edey, you could stand him in the paint right under the basket for the entire shot clock.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like European rules or however you want to say it. But yeah, in college you could stand a 7'6" guy right at the rim and just have him go either side. That's what I think UCF did against Duke when UCF had Taco Fall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the man, and I'm pretty sure they have. I don't know if it's just in the NBA, but I'm pretty sure there's like a 5-second back to the basket rule.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that rule in the NBA, but I don't know if it's
Yeah, I don't know if it's in college, but this man Zach Edey, he will literally get the ball in the middle of the paint. You stand there and go 1, 2, 3, 4. There were times where he was in the paint for like 6, 7, 8 seconds. Now I can understand a man of that size. You give him like 4 seconds, 5 seconds, maybe just to get his big ass out of the way, out of the paint. But there was numerous times where he was called on that. He was not called on that when he should have been. And also, Zach Edey is 7'4". I don't know how much he weighs. Got to be close to 300, or if not more. He is one of the biggest and most physical players on a basketball court in probably in the entirety of college basketball. He got called for 1 foul. 1 foul, and somehow he drew 10 fouls. You know how many free throws he shot?
I'm guessing 20.
22.
Wow.
He shot 22 free throws, and he shot 21 field goals. He shot more times from the line than he did from the field.
He is 7'4", 300. I just looked it up.
Okay. There you go.
Wow.
22 times. And I watched the game. So you can't tell me and be like, oh, well, he wasn't actually fouled. No, he was actually fouled. No, there were times to where Tennessee would hit the ball or Tennessee wouldn't even do anything. And they would blow the whistle and call the foul. For some reason, the refs were protecting this man so badly so they could win this game. There's a saying, and I will stand by it. It's hard to win a basketball game when you're playing 8-on-5. And I know you don't like that whole the refs screwed us, that whole ordeal, and I know a lot of people don't. But just sitting here watching this game, if you went through Twitter Sunday night, it was quite to see how many people were actually being like, these refs actually are bad. Are they actually watching the same game? Like it was that bad. And if like Zach Edey is an unbelievable talent for college basketball, I will say that. But come on, 22 free throws. He's shooting more free throws than Giannis, Embiid, even James Harden in his prime. He's shooting more free throws than Shaq. Let's just be real here. And there are so many instances of him hooking and holding, or him just blatantly pushing somebody, and it doesn't get called. And I think it was on Twitter. Someone posted like, "Oh well, everyone's hooking and holding Edey." I'm just like, yeah, and Edey is hooking and holding other people.
Yeah. If you're gonna call it when people do it to him, call it when he does it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And even up towards the end, when Edey got his only block of the game on Dalton Connect, he hit him with the body. Everyone knows that's a foul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's my little rant about that. Zach Edey, unbelievable talent, one of the best in college basketball right now. A lot of people say he is the best, but I don't think it's going to translate to the NBA.
Is he up for the draft this year?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I think he's projected like late second round.
It's kind of like Luka Garza, like
Luke Garza, yeah, pretty much. And people are saying, "Oh well, how can you not? He's this and that." And I'm just like, if you look at people that kind of fit the same mold as him, Boban doesn't get much of any playing time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taco Fall. Now, granted, Taco is not as skilled as Zach Edey, but the height.
Right.
Taco's overseas.
No, yeah.
Now let's go to former player of the year, Luke Garza. He's riding the Timberwolves bench playing in the G League.
Yeah, he doesn't play very often on the Timberwolves.
Yeah. Zach Edey, can he get up and down the court? Yeah. For as big as he is, it's good. But he doesn't get up and down fast enough for the NBA, right? Because we all know the NBA is fast-paced. It is up and down, up and down, up and down. You got to be able to move. 2, he does not have an outside shot. And people saying, "Oh, well, if you look at his free throw, there's potential for it." I'm like, but how many years are we going to wait for him to fully be able to become a lethal, I shouldn't say lethal, but 35% three-point shooter?
Just a respectable
enough to where you can't just leave him out there. And I'm sorry, but if you have Zach Edey versus Victor Wembanyama 1-on-1, I'm taking Victor Wembanyama.
Wow.
If you have Zach Edey and Chet Holmgren 1-on-1, I'm taking Chet Holmgren.
Wow. It's a big step. I didn't think I'd hear you say that.
For the whole thing is Victor, Chet, and you could even throw Embiid in there. They have the footwork, the speed.
Mm-hmm.
They have pretty much almost everything over. Now, granted, I'm comparing NBA players. I feel like the Wembanyama and Chet thing is kind of understandable because I'm pretty sure Zach Edey is older than them too.
He's 21, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, he's about the same age as those two. He's got the weight, and he has a little bit of a height advantage on Chet. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, there's not really anything you could look at and be like, well, I'm taking Edey over Wembanyama or Chet.
Right.
Now I understand people are gonna be like, oh well, you're taking 2 of the best young centers in the league. I'm just like, well, that's what we gotta compare him to. You get what I'm saying?
Well, how about this for just talk about, and this guy's another great young center, but just not quite on a level of Chet and Wemby. But like, how is this? Because I haven't watched like any Zach Edey. I'm really just not familiar with this game, other than like obviously his size. So like to a guy like Derek Lively, how do you think that compares? Where it's like he's a good young center, but he's obviously just not quite on the level as like a Chet and a Wemby.
Personally, I would still take Lively because he gives you the athletic threat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Lively can get out, he can move, he can run the floor.
Yeah.
He can jump up high and catch lobs. Watching Purdue, especially against the Tennessee game, what Zach Edey's offense was pretty much go down low, post up, hook shot. Post up, hook shot. Post up, hook shot. Offensive rebound, put back dunk. Maybe like a lob here or there. You know what I mean?
Are we seeing a 2024 Jahlil Okafor, who was a great center at Duke, but he was just a back to the basket big, and it just didn't translate to the NBA. Obviously, Jaleel was he went top 5, didn't he? I think Jaleel went top 5.
He went 3 to the 76ers.
Yeah, so it's like obviously Jaleel was much more like highly talented coming out of college, but it's like do you see that similar play style where it's more back to the basket, down low, just in the post kind of thing?
Oh yeah. And the thing is, like, he's 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for what he does in the Tennessee game, there were times where either Jonas Adu, Toby Awaka, or JP Estrella. Those were the 3 big men that primarily guarded Edey. It got to the point that they were playing his left shoulder so badly to where all he had to do was take one dribble, seal with his big right leg, and he had an easy dunk. But he kept trying to do them hook shots.
Oh, okay.
Like, he was forcing the hook shots up to a point. Like, I can understand they were going in your 7'4", they're gonna fall,
right?
But it comes to a point to when, like, a guy is literally his because of how tall he is. The guy's face is practically in.
You got to take the easy
shoulder.
basket. You got to get in and take the easy basket. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy's in his shoulder, basically pushing him on his left side only. And instead of just drop stepping to the right and dunking it, he keeps trying to go up with the right to get the foul calls. And they weren't calling the fouls on some of them, I will say that. But
no, yeah, I just want to. Because like I said, I know when you text me on Sunday, Easter, happy Easter, by the way, to everybody who celebrates. But yeah, I remember you were like, hey, I don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, well, I get that, but like, I kind of want to hear what happened. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but me right now, this is very toned down from how I was.
And I'm sure that's kind of why I made the comment to you on Sunday. I'm like, just go ahead and let it out on Wednesday. Cause I knew you'd have a couple of days to kind of calm down. And your response today is much less emotional and more like, okay, let me actually look at what happened instead of being in the moment of just being really pissed off.
Yeah. And like I said, Zach Edey, unbelievable talent, but like I know I shouldn't go back to the foul calls, but Tennessee got called for 25 fouls.
Mm-hmm.
Purdue got called for 12.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely when there's a discrepancy like that, you got to look at it. Obviously, it's like there's two sides of it. It's like, well, you know what I mean, like one team fouled more than the other. Like you can watch it, but it's like there's got to be a certain point where you just look at these foul calls, and you can tell a team's getting favored.
Yeah. Like, and Tennessee does play a physical defensive style of basketball. That is Rick Barnes' the Rick Barnes, the coach of Tennessee. That is his bread and butter. He's a defensive styled coach, and he loves his defense. And he loves to play physical defense. But it comes to a point to where the refs are anticipating the calls. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're anticipating a foul to be there, and they call it whether it's actually there or not. You know what I mean?
Now it's related. It's unrelated to the game, but related to Tennessee in general.
Okay.
And if I'm missing somebody that's like blatantly obvious, please let me know, because I'm not great at what college a lot of players go to. But I know there's a few players, obviously, like Grant Williams being one of the most like one of the biggest names right now, like college basketball players out of Tennessee. Typically, though, for as good as Tennessee is as a college team, their players don't translate in the NBA that great.
Yes.
And you bring up about them being a tough physical team. And again, I'm not meaning this in any slight to anybody. Like it works for them, so you know what I mean. It works, but I almost wonder if that type of physical like style, the way they play, their players. And again, I'm trying to choose my words carefully because it could sound very wrong from how I say it. Tennessee might not have the most skilled players; they just play in a tough way that makes it hard for other teams. So when you have their players that then leave that system and go to the NBA, they're not quite as the skilled player as you need to be in the NBA. And that's why you don't see a lot of them stick around, because it's like they don't like a guy like Grant Williams is a good enough shooter and has that still tough defense that he's able to stick around and have a long career.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys that were like pretty good guys coming out of Tennessee just haven't really stuck around because they haven't been able to find the rest of their game.
Yeah, it also comes to the point to where, like, as a college coach, your goal is to play for a national championship, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to do what you think needs to be done to win the national championship and get success. Now, do you want to get players better and get them ready for the NBA? Absolutely. But let's look at Luke May, right? Powerful. I think it's Luke. Yeah, Luke May, power forward, center out of North Carolina, right? Spent 4 years at North Carolina, helped them win a national championship, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe he's playing overseas now.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't translate over. Sometimes it's more about, like, how do I want to word this?
The system works in college.
Yes, the system works in college, but does not translate to the NBA.
Here, I have it here. This is all the active Tennessee players in the NBA right now. Tobias Harris and you have Grant Williams, who are two good role players.
And Tobias Harris was not here. I think he was there. I think he was at Tennessee under Bruce Pearl. He wasn't under Rick Barnes.
Okay, but okay. So then, what about Josh Richardson? Was that before him too?
That was before.
Okay, so if we look at people that have been drafted since Rick Barnes has been there, you have Grant Williams.
Yep.
Jaden Springer.
Yep.
Admiral Schofield.
Yep.
Julian Phillips.
Yep.
Keon Johnson.
Yep.
Kyle Alexander. Was he on that team?
He was, but I believe he was undrafted free agent.
Okay, but this is just okay. Yeah. Jordan Bone.
Yep.
Kennedy Chandler.
Yep.
And let's see if there's Keon Johnson. Tariq Owens. Julian Phillips. Yves Pons.
Yves Pons.
Okay. Yeah, but okay, so it's like none of these guys are standout players. I think, and you say he wasn't part of the system, but like Tobias Harris is your best guy in that, you know what I mean? In like the modern era, I should say. Because you have guys, I think, like, didn't Bernard King go there or something like that?
Yeah, Bernard King went there.
So Allen
Dale
Houston,
Ellis.
Yeah, Allen Houston. So like you guys had some historical guys, but like in the modern era, it just seems like as a team they play really well in college. They don't translate because they're not playing under that system. Oh, I don't say because they're not playing under a system, but I just think the system doesn't always allow them to fully develop themselves.
Well, the one thing Rick Barnes does is he does not build his entire reputation on one and dones, like we've seen from Kentucky and Duke and some of these quote unquote blue bloods that haven't really had the success in the past. But
yeah,
like I think it's Keon Johnson, Jaden Springer, Julian Phillips. They were all one and dones.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Grant Williams, he had an extra year. He left early. Jordan Bone left a year early.
Yeah, that didn't go well for him.
No, it didn't. I wanted him to return for another year because Jordan Bone in college was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And if he would have stayed another year, I feel like he could have been a good player for a team. But it just how it's coached and how like the college game is much different from the NBA, as most of us know. So like play styles that work for Rick Barnes in Tennessee aren't going to translate to the NBA so well.
Yeah.
But we also look at it towards like Dalton Connect. Transferred to Tennessee from Northern Colorado, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He's projected a top 5 pick. He came to Tennessee because he wanted to get his defense better. And now he's a SEC Player of the Year, and he's probably going to finish top 3 in the National Player of the Year. It's just sometimes the play elevates the players, and then when they're out of that system, it's like how the whole controversy is for like the 49ers, right?
Right.
Everyone's saying you pull Brock Purdy out of the system and put him on another team. How well is he actually going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just about like, I shouldn't say like system players, but it's a system where these players thrive in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what helps them have somewhat success in college basketball, which then sometimes doesn't translate to the NBA, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just wanted to because I just noticed though, like as great as a consistent team they are, they just you don't
Yeah,
see their players in the
they've
NBA.
from like 2018, 2017, 2018 when Grant and Schofield, I think that was their second year together. From that point till now is when we've been somewhat in college basketball relevancy, and then this year it was just taken to another level.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. And one more thing I want to hit on quick before we get in here, because I know we don't have a lot of time today. There was initial reports that Bronny James would be entering the transfer portal. Now things are a little bit more murky. It's not apparently this report I've been reading. It's not 100% certain that he is entering the transfer portal. That he could stay. And one of the reasons it got brought up is because their coach, the USC coach, left, and he was thinking about leaving after that. Coach Andy Enfield. For the job at SMU. So there were some reports going around today. A fake report went around that he went to the Ohio State, and I even heard the people on the radio announce that he was transferring to Ohio State, but that's not a legitimate report. That has not came out, so I don't know where they got that from. I don't know if they just saw it on Twitter. You know how Twitter can be. But I just wanted to get in here to say that the report came out and people weren't crazy with it. It is not actually an official report yet. It might not happen. So yeah, just wanted to clear that up.
Also, one other thing before we get into this,
Mhm.
Stephon Diggs.
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Traded to the Texans.
Mhm.
I think it was Stephon Diggs a 6th and a 7th to the Texans for a 2nd.
Hey, that's. I mean, there's been I don't want to say reports. There's been like murmurings the past like 2 off seasons now that Stephon Diggs could be moved just because of he's. I don't even know if it's anything legitimate, but it's just been like rumors that he's been unhappy. And I'm kind of surprised to see it this year because I feel like this was like the only offseason that hasn't been reported that he's unhappy. So it's kind of weird that this is now the offseason he gets traded.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you also got to look at it. How many players did they get rid of?
They did. They cut a lot of people.
Yeah,
They were in some severe cap hell, and they cut a lot of people. And I'm sure they're going to get some financial relief off of this for sure. But
oh yeah,
they might have closed. You know what? I don't want to say. Okay, let me start this off. I was gonna say they might have just closed the window on themselves for winning a Super Bowl, but we just saw the Chiefs win a Super Bowl with not a great receiving core, but Patrick Mahomes is a level ahead of what Josh Allen is as a quarterback.
yeah.
So there's just some different levels to this. I don't think they've completely closed themselves off from a Super Bowl window, but man, they're not looking great.
Yeah, no, they're not. On both sides of the ball too.
Yeah,
It's not just like the defense is kind of murky and we don't know what's going on with that. It's both sides of the ball that is very, very murky, and we don't know what they're gonna do because they got some positional needs that they're gonna have to address.
100%. Yeah,
And the pick is not even for this year; it's for next year.
yeah.
And I mean, and also it's kind of just like a 2nd round pick is all you get for Diggs.
I mean, I would have thought maybe they would have got like 1 or 2 more picks, but a 2nd round pick is actually a pretty high value. Not too often are 1st round picks traded unless it's for like quarterbacks, just because quarterbacks are much more valuable than other positions.
What I should have said better is only a 2nd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a 2nd plus like a 4th and like
like
something
a
like
2nd,
that.
4th, and a 5th or something like that.
Especially when you're giving up a 6th and a 7th too.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's look at this from the Texan side. That's more what I'm excited about. I'm gonna go ahead and just list you some off seasons or like some off season acquisitions that the Texans have had. They just traded for Stephon Diggs. They bring in Danielle Hunter. They bring in Jeff Okudah. They bring in a couple of different people in the secondary there. They bring in Joe Mixon. Obviously, they still have Dameon Pierce from last year. You know, like this team is looking really, really good. Their team. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then you got to look at the pieces that are still there.
Yeah.
Nico Collins, Tank Dell.
Noah Brown was decent last year.
Yep, Noah Brown.
Robert Woods is still on the team. He kind of got buried in the depth chart. He's a pretty decent receiver.
Yep. I mean, he's probably going to be like the fifth guy at this point, fourth or fifth. But he's still there.
Probably. Yeah.
But he's still. The tight end. I can't think of his name right now.
They brought in Dalton Schultz last year from Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe he signed. He re-signed.
Yes.
So I mean, like basically your offensive weapons are practically returning, and now you're adding in Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this team was good. The only thing that can stop them, in my opinion, is C.J. Stroud having a sophomore slump.
Yeah. Pretty much. They made the team around him better. They brought in a lot of depth on the defensive side of the ball, and then brought in playmakers on offense.
Yep. Like I said, the only thing in my eyes sitting here right now is C.J. Stroud getting into that sophomore slump where he knows what he needs to do, but something just happens and he can't perform to where everyone expects him to be at this point. You know what I mean? For next season.
Yeah. Also, I saw Stephen A. Smith today made a comment that like now the Texans are the best team in Dallas, or the Texans are the best team in Texas. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what Cowboys don't have anything to do with this. Why are we being brought into this? We have literally nothing to do with this.
Stephen A. always likes taking them.
Yeah, he doesn't like us at all.
Crack shots at Dallas.
I get it. You know, he might be right. With the way the Texans offseason has went, with the Cowboys offseason, I'm not going to say he's wrong. He definitely they could be better than us this year. I don't have any problem admitting it. But it's like, what the hell? Why are we just getting these random shots?
So how do you feel about the Cowboys off season?
Anyway, let's move on to our big part of the episode today, because we want to kind of, like I said, we don't have a lot of time, so I want to make sure we get into this and get it moving. I figured what I'll do is I'll read off the team. We'll kind of agree on what we think a reasonable price per stock it is, like, that we think for that team, and then we're gonna be like, I'll be like, for example, we'll go ahead and start with the Rockets. Okay. I think because they're a very young team, they're pushing for the play-in, and this is a good, again, just assuming they get into play-in. I think their stock should only be $1, because realistically, I don't think we see them out of the first round. Maybe we don't even see them out of the play-in tournament.
We might not even see them in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a chance they don't. So I don't think their stock should be worth much. But that being said, I'm taking $5. I'm taking 5 shares. I'm taking $5 worth of stock in Houston Rockets.
Oh, okay.
And you know why I'm doing that?
Why?
Because I think they're having what's the word I want to use? I think they're having this kind of weird run where they're going to get in there and they're going to just shock somebody. They're going to do. I don't think they're going to go on a run like the Heat last year to like the finals. I don't think they're going to get out of the first round, but I think they get through the play-in tournament as the 8th seed and take on Denver in the first round.
You think so?
I think it's going to be. I think the Lakers and the Rockets are going to be the two teams as a 7 and 8. And I think with the way Jalen Green is playing right now, again, we gave him credit he's playing like a damn superstar right now. I can't even hold you.
He is.
And I just think all it takes is that hot hand to push you through. They need to win 2 games. They're on an 11-game winning streak. What's 2 more?
That's fair.
I mean, it's not like, again, like a 7-game series for sure. I'm probably not taking them against a Nuggets team. Actually, I can tell you, I'm not going to take them at all in the Nuggets. Against the Nuggets, you know what I mean? But I think they have enough firepower to take down. I mean, I guess technically, as of right now, they would play the Lakers in the first conference final, or the first play-in. But I think the Lakers are going to move up into the 7-8 matchup instead of the 9-10. If I'm going to be real with you, I think the Suns fall. I think the Suns get eliminated in that play-in game against the Rockets.
I can see it.
And then I think the Lakers beat the Kings, and the Rockets beat the Kings in that first play. I know you're a Sabonis guy, and I respect it. I really, really do. But they have a lot of injuries. They have a lot of injuries right now.
They do.
Blake Monk's out. Kevin Huerter's out for the season. Who the hell's going to guard Jalen Green? Now, on the other side, they don't really have anybody to guard Sabonis. You know what I mean? Jabari Smith's been pretty decent. Jock Landale's been decent. I trust the two of them to do enough against Sabonis than I do anybody on that team to guard Jalen Green.
That's fair.
So, again, like I said, I don't love the Kings getting bounced out of the playoffs. I really do like the Kings. But I think they can make it to the play. I think they can make it as the 8th seed. And that's my reasoning for buying $5.
I mean, hey, I can't argue with you there. I really can't. I mean, for price,
it would only be
stock,
$1. Yeah. I mean, hey.
I mean, shit. I mean, I'll take $3 worth.
Hey, might as well. Go ahead.
You just sold me on that.
That's what I do, man. I'm just here to sell. Is there anything you want to add to that, or go ahead?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, you pretty much just hit it right on the head. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head with that. I mean, I can't really say anything for it or against it. The only thing I could say against it is outside of Jalen Green, who's going to be scoring.
I mean, yeah, you're hoping Cam Whitmore comes back, Fred VanVleet, stuff like that. Yeah, like it is relying a lot on Jalen Green right now.
But hey, that's all you need.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have him go for 40 again. What the hell does it matter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, now are we lumping any teams together?
What do you mean by
for
that?
Like a price tag? It's like the Rockets are $1. Are we like Golden State $1? Are we doing like the Hawks Bulls $1?
No, I don't want to lump teams together because I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you think I think the Warriors should be $1 as well? I think they're kind of in the same boat where it's like they maybe get out of the play-in, maybe not, but I don't see them taking down the Nuggets first round.
Yeah, no, especially with how the Warriors are. I don't even think I'm going to take any stock in them.
So you can agree they're $1? We'll just do $1 for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm not taking Warrior stock either. I don't know. They're just – we talked about it a couple episodes in a row now. It's like there's nothing there outside of Steph Curry that I have any belief in.
Yeah, I mean, Wiggins – I think in one of the last couple games, he went off for like 23, but
yeah, that's good. Yeah, but we just haven't seen consistently enough from him.
Yeah, he'll probably go back to like maybe like 8, 9, 12 points.
They don't have it right now. They're having this more shit with Draymond Green where he got ejected. Then the very next game, he tried to kick Grant Williams in the balls again. And like Steph Curry.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That game after he got ejected, he tried to kick Grant in the balls. It's like, okay, like this dude's crashing out over the Hornets, and the Hornets are not even close to him. Like they're just so disgruntled right now that I don't think, as amazing of a player as Steph Curry is, it's not happening.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Next is the Los Angeles Lakers.
Are we doing the West then the East?
Yeah. I just figured we'll go through the West and go through the East. I figured that way we can keep in track a little bit better. I was thinking, because I think this team has, and again, I know it's going to sound because I'm a Lakers fan. I think they have a very, very, very small chance to make a run. The problem would be facing the Nuggets in the first round. That would be them hopefully getting to the 7th seed and playing like the Timberwolves or the Thunder in the first round. I still don't have a lot of hope, so I'm thinking like $3, where it's a little bit more valuable than the Rockets and Warriors, but it's still not like overwhelming.
Yeah.
We can agree on $3. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take 5 things the Lakers. I'll take $15 with the Lakers.
Okay. You know what?
Go
ahead, dude.
My reasoning is because looking at how everything is shaking out right now in the West, I truly believe the Lakers are going to end up as the 6th seed, right?
Okay.
They get the 6th seed, you get Oklahoma City in the first round. You get Oklahoma City in the first round. If it ends today, Lakers can take OKC, especially with how D'Lo is playing towards the end of the season now.
Mm-hmm. And the way Shea's been playing recently too.
Yeah, they take out the Thunder. Then you look in the next round. Who do they have? They have the Clippers, Mavs, or Timberwolves. They can beat all 3 of them teams. Now we're potentially looking at the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals.
Playing the fucking Nuggets. Again.
Maybe. But hey, I truly believe if this Lakers team can get a 6 or a 7 seed, they can make a run.
I agree with you. I am also going to go 3, which is $15. I think I don't want to. I was thinking about maybe doing some more too, but I think that Nuggets
You mean
team.
you mean you're taking 5 shares of it?
Yeah, what did I say? I meant
You said 3.
I was reading the $3 thing. Um, I'm also going to take the $15 worth. I just the Nuggets scare me. That's the only reason I'm not letting myself buy anymore as much as I would like to. We can't beat them. We just cannot beat them no matter what we do. And it like I've said it about the Heat. We've said about a couple different things. It'll keep happening until it doesn't. This could be the year in the conference finals we walk in, we beat them in 7. It's like, and that would just be what it is. But until that happens, I have a hard time believing it will happen.
Yeah, 100%. And hey, I am all for that. It would be a great thing for the podcast. Battle for Banner 18, baby.
Oh man, Lakers Celtics finals. That would be
that. Ooh, that would be something.
This time LeBron's dunking on Jason Tatum.
But then Tatum wins the series.
Oh damn. All right. So money check. I'm at $80 now.
I am at $82.
$82. Okay. You took a little bit less on the Rockets than I think I did.
Yep. Suns.
I went on that rant about I could see them falling out of the play-in or like losing through the play-in. I think having Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant gives you some type of worth. Do we give them $3 as well? Kind of put them on an even playing field, like in the similar areas, the Lakers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like we're only going to like the Nuggets and Celtics are 20.
Yeah. So we
do want to keep that discrepancy and not get the Suns at like $5-6 because then we're losing space.
No, honestly, you say 5. I was thinking about maybe 2. I was thinking about dropping them, but I do think they are a pretty similar as a team. They're in a pretty similar playing field, so I'm fine with 3 as well for them.
And I'm gonna be honest, I am not taking any stock in them.
I'm taking 1. Give me $3. Just literally off of nothing else than it being Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Literally, that is it. I don't love the way their offense has been this year for what they have on the talent-wise, but we also know Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are 2 of those guys that can just turn it up in the playoffs and just go supernova, and maybe their run is getting to the second round. You know what I mean? Having an upset in the first round and just getting to the second round. Maybe that's all their run is. But I like that enough to at least spend $3 and just be like, okay, I'll give you $3. I'll take 1 share.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not on it, but anything, especially when you have KD, D-Book. I mean, all it takes for both of them to get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the Suns' second round of the playoffs.
Yeah. What about the Sacramento Kings? Give me your thoughts on them. Do you think
if they don't have the injuries, I think we're looking at maybe $6.
Okay.
But because of the injuries, I think we put them at like 4.
Okay.
3, 4.
I can get down with 4.
4.
I think they're in a better area than the Suns and the Lakers, but it's really not by much.
If anything, and I will take 3 stocks of the Kings, so $12.
Okay.
I mean, like you said earlier, Domantas Sabonis is my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot bet against Domantas Sabonis. That's like the league leader in triple doubles, the league leader in double doubles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's Domantas, brother. And also De'Aaron Fox. I feel like he's gonna catch a hot streak.
Yeah, I mean he could be due for it for sure.
Yeah, and I mean like my prediction is Kings are gonna stay at 7, right? They're gonna stay 7-8.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers are gonna go up to the 6. Pelicans maybe fall to the 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then bam, we're looking at something like Suns, Kings, Lakers, Mavericks, Clippers, Thunder, Wolves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that. And I'm just saying, I mean, like, against the Timberwolves, King's got a decent chance in my opinion, but on what are you doing? I'm taking up too much time.
None. I'm not taking any stock in Kings.
Okay.
I really do like Sabonis as well. I like De'Aaron Fox. With their injuries, they lost a 6 Man of the Year candidate. They've been without Kevin Huerter. They got bounced in the first round last year when they had their great breakout season last year and got bounced in the first round. They've played similar this year, like record-wise similar. They're just down in the standing because team around them got better. They've done nothing to get better, and they got bounced in the first round last year.
They did play Steph Curry, though.
They did. But again, and this one, you're still looking at, Clippers, Thunder, Mavs, that kind of thing. It's like, I mean, you're playing Luka, you're playing Kawhi, Paul George.
It is for me. It is also Sabonis bias.
Oh, for sure. No, and I respect that, and I have no problem with you taking stock. I don't think I can do it. I don't think this year is the year. I respect them, but I just don't think I can take it this year.
Hey, all respect. So what are you thinking about the Pelicans?
I was thinking, because I was just reading here that they're reevaluating Brandon Ingram at the end of this week, and they're hopeful he's going to be back by the 3-week mark from his injury, which has already been almost 2 weeks. So like a week or maybe 2 weeks out from him being back.
Ooh.
I was thinking with Brandon Ingram back, about a solid 5.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
So I still don't think they're contenders. But I think now we're getting to the realm of teams that are like, I'm taking kind of seriously. The teams down below, it's like, I fully believe they could go on a run, but I'm not like, taking it seriously.
Betting on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to put actual money on it.
Yeah, but now we're getting up to teams where it's like, I could actually see these guys going somewhere.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm only taking one. $5.
I'm not gonna take any.
Okay.
I'm saving my money for right now.
That's okay. I just think my problem with them, and the reason I'm only taking one is, and the reason I am taking one is because they have Zion Williamson. I think we talked about that, where like this could be the playoff run where Zion kind of cements himself back into like that star player category from what he had been going on. And Brandon Ingram coming back obviously helps with that. They have talent: C.J. McCollum, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy III. They have a very talented roster. And this is what we're hoping Zion ends up being. I just don't really see that big difference maker at the moment, where it's like you have 3 guys in Zion, CJ, and Brandon Ingram that are all good. Obviously, Zion and Brandon Ingram are better than CJ at this point in time. But none of those guys I'm looking at and be like, this guy is going to take over the series.
Yeah.
I don't think they quite and again, this could be the year that Zion or Brandon Ingram go out and do that. And it's like, maybe I look at them differently next year, or like going into the second round if they make it. But as of right now, I don't see their overwhelming, I use the word X factor. Like, I don't see that guy that's going to walk in there and average 30 and just take over the series. So that's why I can only really give him one share with $5.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable, and yeah, we did talk about Zion.
I thought so, yeah.
For the breakout, because I think we did that for the X Factors.
Yes, I think you might be right. Yep.
But yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Zion, I feel like this is the year for him to, because he hasn't been talked about, come out and show everyone what he can do. Because like you said in that episode, the people that the casual fans last seen him in the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't really seen
the in-season tournament.
In-season tournament, yes. Not the play-in, the in-season tournament. I get those two mixed up sometimes. Last time they seen him was the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
And I don't believe he played that good.
No.
So everyone's perspective on Zion is, oh, well, he's not really that good. No reason to talk about him. But I'm pretty sure Zion's having a pretty damn good season this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be his quote unquote redemption year, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. All right. So the next team we have is the Dallas Mavericks. And the number I had in my head was $8. It's a bit of a jump from 5 to 8. But the Mavericks, I think they have a damn chance.
You're relying. Granted, they did make a run a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say a couple years ago. I think it wasn't 2 years ago.
Anyway, we'll move on. I know we don't have a lot of time, so I don't want to.
Yeah, well, 2 years ago, the Mavericks went on that run with just Luka, and they had Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
Now you got Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's a chance.
And I think they have a better team overall now, too, with guys like Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, where Maxi Kleber was playing better, whereas last time they were relying on Dwight Powell. They had
PJ Washington.
Yeah, they had PJ Washington. I think just have a little bit better. Still not a great team around them, but I think they have a little bit better constructed team around them, and they're going to be able to outscore anybody.
Yep. I'll take one share of them.
Okay, I'm going to take 2, so that's $16 from me. So, woo! I'm not going to lie though, a lot of mine's more in the West than it is the East. If I'm being honest.
So I took one, so that's $8.
Clippers. And I know we're kind of I feel bad because some of these teams we're going to kind of breeze through, but some of these guys up at the top, it's like they're up at the top for a reason. So we don't have a lot of convincing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's more. It was more like the convincing for the Lakers, the Suns, the Rockets.
Yeah. Like these guys are top 5, top 6 seeds for a reason.
Yeah, you know what they're gonna do. You took 2 shares, right?
Yes.
All right.
So I had the Clippers. I was thinking Clippers $8. Well, I think they're on a very similar field as the Mavericks.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Okay. So this is hurting me because of when we did the All-Star thing and I was talking about teams. We were talking about teams for the second half. The Clippers were my team. I thought were going to be the 1 seed. Finish the season as a 1 seed, have the good second half. Obviously, it's not happened. They're down to the 4 seed, not playing great. And as much as I hyped them up, I'm not taking any stock. They're just not playing well. Having Russell Westbrook back could definitely help propel them through the playoffs. They look old, and I don't know how else to look like when you just watch their game. They just look old. And it just against the teams like the Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Mavs, you cannot be slow.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I can agree with you on that. You gotta be able to move quickly. You can't be at a slow pace unless you're you're up and you're controlling the entire tempo of the game and you slow it down.
Yep.
But if you're trying to slow it down and the Mavs or whoever's still running and they're still running and gunning, I mean, it gets to a certain point to where you gotta flip the switch or you're just gonna fold. Yep. If that makes sense.
Yep. So what were you taking in the Clippers?
I'm not taking any.
Oh man, that sucks too because I thought for a good part of the season I thought this was the year they could do it, and then they just haven't been good after the All-Star break.
Yeah, just like you said, maybe having Westbrook back rejuvenates it, but who knows?
Next is the Oklahoma City Thunder.
What are we thinking here?
10?
I was gonna say 12, but I can rock with 10.
I can rock with 12. I can rock with 12. Yeah, because I think there's a bit of a difference between them and the Clippers. I think, and we agreed 20 for the Nuggets, so maybe 12 might be a little low. I think we might have scaled a little low down below, but it's fine. Well, it is what I think we both agree the Nuggets are the favorite in the West.
Yeah.
So, plus it's our podcast, so we can do whatever the hell we want to do.
I'll take one stock in the Thunder.
I am taking 2.
Ooh, okay.
I know. I'm burning through my money in the West. I know I am. Let's see. Minus 24. Down to $32. Sheesh. Shea has probably played himself out of MVP the past week or two with missing a couple games, not been playing as great. That doesn't change how I feel about this team. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Again, Shea, like I said, Shea might have lost his MVP. It is what it is. He's a young guy. He'll be back for another one. They still have a great team around him. Josh Giddey's been playing really well recently. J Dub's been playing great all season because he's good. Chet Holmgren's been playing great. Isaiah Joe's been shooting well. Like, they're just – Lou Dort's playing well. He's shooting 40% from three. They're just such a good team. Like, even though Shea might not get MVP, I don't think it affects them in any way, shape, or form going into this playoffs.
Yeah, they're still gonna, because they have so many guys that even though Shea's playing not as great, they're still overall as a team playing good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I agree. I think this Thunder team could potentially make a run.
100%. I don't even know if it's like, they're one of the favorites too. So it's like, it's not even like that, you know what I mean?
Granted, I know I said earlier about the Lakers, they could beat the Thunder. It's matchup based.
Oh, and the Lakers could beat the Thunder. And it's like, just because the Lakers have the size, you know what I mean? Where the Thunder don't really have size down below where the Lakers do. So like, they're going to, in matchups where they're getting like, what's the word I want? Like, just like the Timberwolves, or like teams that have big bodies down below, the Thunder are going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're still a good team. They're still a third seed for the reason. They were a 1 seed a good part of the season. Like, I'm taking 2 on them. Yeah. It's a lot of money, but I believe in this Thunder team.
Oh yeah, they're young, they're hungry, they want success, and I don't see any sign of them slowing down. So now the Timberwolves.
Let's see here. I'm looking up something real quick that would change what I'm about to say. Apparently, there's a good chance Cat's gonna be back for the playoffs.
Oh.
How much better, or maybe on the even playing field, do you have them with the Thunder?
Without Cat, I think with Cat, I think the Timberwolves are just a little bit better. Like, on this money scale we're doing, I think the Timberwolves are about $14.
Okay.
Like, I feel like with Cat, they're above them. Without Cat, they're maybe with them, or maybe just like a dollar below them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Cat makes a big difference for this team.
We're just gonna assume he's back because a lot of people have been saying that he's ahead of schedule and stuff. That he very much could be back. So 14. I have to save money. I'm not buying any.
I was gonna say I'm at $50 right now. I want to, but I can't because I'm trying to save money.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. It's the same way with the Nuggets. Like, I would like to buy. Like, I think they're a team that could win the finals. I don't want to spend my money on them. I'd rather save it for somebody else. So and then we both agreed the Nuggets are the favorites, are at $20. So if you want to buy stock, you're putting a lot of money, but there's a reason they're up there.
Yep. And I am not buying Nuggets.
No, I'm not. I
already had a 10-piece McNugget from McDonald's, so I'm all nuggeted out.
Oh, man, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, well then, let's hurry up through the Eastern Conference, because I'm going to be honest with you, there's not much in the East I'm buying a lot of stock in.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can pretty much just get through like the bottom bit pretty quick.
So the Hawks and the Bulls, I have them both at $1. You cool with that?
100%.
Maybe
no disrespect.
50, maybe 50 cents. No.
No disrespect intended, but yeah, they're $1.
And I'm not buying stock in either team.
I'm gonna be honest, no disrespect, but I don't know who would.
Yeah, they're not good, and they know that. The only team here, well, I don't say the only team. This next team, the Philadelphia 76ers.
What are we doing?
I say $3. Joel Embiid came back last night and looked pretty decent.
Yeah. I'm gonna take 3.
Oh, okay. I'm only gonna take 1.
I'm gonna take 3. I got a little bit of spare change.
You do have some more spare change than me. I
do.
I like that though. I like some confidence. Okay.
I like Joel Embiid coming back. I mean, usually when we see someone come back from injury, their first game they struggle, but he just came back and he played really good. Like, he didn't miss anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, he was ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know we both talked a while ago that maybe he just shouldn't come back. because like the chance of re-injury, which obviously knock on wood here, it's always, but like if he's gonna play like this, they have to be taken somewhat serious.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially with where they're gonna fall, whether it's the 8, the 7, maybe even the 6.
Mhm.
Like this team is possibly gonna cause trouble, especially if Embiid keeps playing like he is now.
They take the 6 seed, they give the Magic in the first round. I think it's a favorable matchup for them.
No, if they get the 6 seed, they get the Cavs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant the 5. They're not going to get up to the 5, I don't think. Or no, what am I looking at here? Yeah, the 5. No, the Knicks. Yeah, never mind. I read that wrong.
But I mean,
100%.
They get the Cavs in the first round, and then possibly the Bucks or a 7 seed in the second round. I mean,
yeah,
it's there. How many did you take of the Sixers?
Just one. I don't have as much money, so I just want to throw my hat in there just in case that Joel Embiid run, but I can't put a lot into it.
Yeah.
Next, and I think they should be pretty much the same, $3, is the Miami Heat.
Yep.
They went on a run last year. It was great. They beat the 1 seed, the 2 seed. They beat everybody up top. They don't look as good this year. They don't.
Yeah, they don't. I mean,
and because of that, I'm just taking one.
I was gonna say I'm not taking any in the Heat.
It's fair.
I just don't see it. You know what I mean? Like I just don't see what I want to see from this team. Granted, we all know what happens with Jimmy Butler and the Heat. As soon as the playoffs start, it's just this out of nowhere punch you in the face, and the next thing you know, you're down like 2-0 or it's 1-1 or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, I mean, yeah, I know it's I'm shitting on the Celtics a little bit here, but like they weren't ready for that, and the Celtics were down 3-0.
Yeah, Celtics
they almost did come back.
Tatum doesn't roll his ankle,
but it's like they went into Boston. You guys were the 1 seed last year, right? Or was it 2?
Yep, we were the 1.
Went into Boston as 1 seed and took both 2 games in Boston, and then back home in Miami took another game.
Well, no, we were the 2 because Milwaukee was the 1.
You're right. So, but either way, still they won in the Boston games 1 and 2 and took it.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, kind of a similar thing to the 76ers where it's like, I have to respect now, like it is playoff time. So Jimmy Butler, so I'm just going to throw 1 in the hat, put my $3 in there because like we said before, like it works till it doesn't. It's worked before. So until it doesn't, you kind of have to respect it.
Yeah. And trust me, I respect it. But I just saving money.
So the Indiana Pacers. I'm just going to be flat out. I'm not taking stock.
Me neither. They just haven't shown me. If they would have been playing right now and progressed from what they were at the beginning of the season, this is a different story.
Yeah.
But they have like plateaued early. Like they plateaued like a month ago, 2 months ago, All-Star break type thing.
Yeah.
And there's no sign of it going back up. That in mind, $3, $4.
Now here, let me give you the Pacers end of the season schedule, and let me see if it changes your mind. They play the Nets tonight. Then they play the Thunder, the Heat, the Raptors, the Cavs, and then the Hawks to finish the season.
I think they split that 3-3. And it doesn't really change my opinion on anything.
I agree. I was just asking if
because I mean you get the Nets, which you're presumably gonna beat. You get the Raptors, who you should beat.
And then the Hawks.
And the Hawks you should beat. And then you have the Thunder and then 2 other
Thunder, Heat, and Cavs are the 3 like good teams.
I mean, the Heat, that's gonna decide the 6th seed or decide that seeding, and the Cavs, they're the Cavs. I mean, I can't really go against Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. They maybe go 4-2, but I think they maybe go like 3-3, 4-2 maybe, but that it doesn't change much for me.
I agree. Yeah, I'm not taking I really like Tyrese Halliburton or Pascal Siakam. They just they're the sad thing is that the Pacers are in the same spot now. They weren't. Well, no. Hold on. They're not in the same spot now because I think they're in a much better direction. But they're also in the same spot. Remember a couple years ago when it was like, T.J. Warren, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, T.J. McConnell. It's like that team was always good enough to just get there, but they were never going to make noise.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like they went on this like mini little retool rebuild where they shipped out Sabonis. T.J. Warren left. They trade for Tyrese Halliburton, and they bring in this new guard, and now they're right back into like that realm of we're good enough to get there, but we're not going to make any noise. The only difference is I think they have a brighter upside now with Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton.
Their future is brighter.
Yes, but they are kind of at least for the moment for the next season or so, kind of stuck back where they were for those few years.
Yeah. So $3.
Yep. And I'm at nothing. Why did I put the Heat and Pacers twice on here? That's something. Maybe that's why it's confused me with the standings earlier. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. Okay. So the New York Knicks are next. What are you thinking for them?
$4, $5.
Okay.
I think they're a little bit better than the Pacers, but I don't want to jump too high. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. It's just the injuries with the Knicks is what's holding me back.
There's still really not much on Julius Randle coming back.
Yeah. That's one of the big things holding me back is that the injuries, and even though Jalen Brunson has been playing out of his mind, he's been playing really good. I'm thinking $5. What are you thinking?
I can do $5. So there was a quote from Josh Hart, and after the game the other night when they lost when Shea hit the game winner on them, Josh Hart says, "I'm looking at it like this is the team we're going to have. I think," and talk about Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby, and Julius Randle all being out. I think that's how we have to approach it, that those guys aren't coming back. And obviously we'll be pleasantly surprised if they do. So basically they don't think they're coming back.
Yeah.
And if I look at it that way, like I'm fine with $5 because they're still a good team. I'm
not taking stock.
I'm going to take one. I'm taking one. I don't want to get rid of my money. Plus, again, Jalen Brunson is so good. Josh Hart's good. Dante DiVincenzo's good. They have Isaiah Hartenstein's good. They still have good pieces. They just without their second star, even their third star, really, with OG Julius Randle and obviously like a good center in Mitchell Robinson. I don't think they can get to the East, and it sucks because I thought the way this year started out for them. I had them as a dark horse finals, like they could be in the finals. From earlier, you guys can go back and listen to that. I really believe in this Knicks team. It's just these injuries are piling up, and obviously, when it comes to the playoffs, missing two of your best players is gonna hurt.
Yep. Yes, it will.
So
very much so.
It's all right. I'll take $5, and I think the Magic should be in the same realm. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I think in the East, there's a pretty. We're in the 4 seed. We're still giving out $5. Yeah. I think in the East, it's just. I don't know, man.
I'll take 2 stocks in the Magic.
Okay. I'm not taking any. They're a fun story.
Understandable.
They're a very fun story, similar to like the Kings of last year, and I think they're going to be good again next year. Like I think we're actually seeing a progression of this Magic team. I think they're going to be kind of similar to the Kings, where I think next year they might be the 6, 7 seed, maybe the 5 seed, but they could surprise us because it's not a very strong Eastern Conference, so they could be a 4 seed again next year, just because they do have the talent. But it's all these guys' pretty much first experience in the playoffs, and you know that matters. So I don't know. I don't think they make too much waves. They could win a first round series, and that's part of the reason I just took. Pretty much the only reason I took one is because I think they could win a first round series, but
yeah,
I don't think it goes deeper than that.
I mean, hey, I respect that. Now to the Cavs.
I'm making a bit of a jump here. $10.
Oh.
I think this is the line with the Eastern Conference. I think the top 3, obviously the Knicks with the injuries, kind of unfortunately fall down there. But I think this top 3 is really where the line gets drawn at finals contenders.
I can't disagree with you.
Okay.
I honestly I can't disagree with you.
So Dune. That being said, I'm not taking a single stock in it.
Me neither.
Last year's first round exit against the Knicks with how bad they played left such a terrible taste in my mouth for this team. And Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell still really, they've been better, but they haven't really completely figured out playing with each other where they're both playing at their height. Usually one's playing better when the other one's not there. And they're too good enough, they're two great players that they need to be working in complete unison if this team wants to go all the way.
Yep, and their big men have to step up into the spotlight.
Yes. Yes, they do. That's going to get referenced every single time we bring up the playoffs for them.
100%. I mean,
I like this Cavs team. Yeah, no, I like this Cavs team, and it's no disrespect to where, like, I'm not saying there's no chance. I don't think either one of us are saying there's no chance. It's just that I don't feel confident enough to be like, yeah, they can do it.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. What are we thinking for the Bucks?
12?
I can get behind 12.
I think they're better than the Cavs. I don't think they're near the Celtics. And unfortunately, I only have enough space to buy one, so I'm only going to buy one with them. That leaves me $9 left. I'm going to rework somewhere.
I'm not taking any. Because if I would, then that wouldn't leave me enough to take the last team on the list.
Okay. So we'll talk about the Bucks real quick.
Yep.
Giannis and Dame. That's my reasoning. Giannis is a top 3 player in this league. Dame, maybe not quite having his All-NBA season, but he's still a damn good point guard. We know how Dame's been great in the playoffs for the majority of his career. Giannis has been great in the playoffs for the majority of his career. Obviously, outside, they had that issue with the Heat last year where he missed the first 2 games and then came back and they still lost. I'm worried about Brook Lopez. I'm kind of worried about Chris Middleton, worried about the rest of their team around them. I'm worried about Damian Lillard and Malik Beasley guarding anything on the court at all.
Yeah.
So that's why, with money restrictions and with that, I'm only taking one stock. Even if I had more money, I don't know if I would have bought more than maybe 2. Like, I'm 2 at the max. It's just because, defense matters, and their perimeter defense isn't great. Their top 2 guys cannot defend well.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing is the defensive side. Mm-hmm. Even with Doc Rivers,
yep,
still just going to be a big hole in that team is the defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not taking any from the Bucks.
And that leaves the Boston Celtics the 1 seed. We agreed the top seeds would be $20. Obviously, I don't have enough money.
And I am taking one stock. That's all I can afford to take.
Okay. How much money does that leave you with?
I have $11 left over.
Okay, I have 9. But before we get into that, give me your reasoning for the Celtics.
I'm not gonna say they're the number 1 seed in the East because that's nothing.
Yeah, you never know.
That's nothing.
See Jimmy Butler walk out in the court and see,
Jimmy the Butler. Ugh. Not again. It's just the rotation that they have. Their top 6 guys, probably one of the best in the league for the rotation wise for the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it does fall off at the 7 and the 8 spot, but it's still good enough. You know what I mean? And to where you could tat out a lineup to where you could have Porzingis at the 5, Horford 4, and then like Tatum, Brown, and then Derek White, and then Holiday is coming off the bench. Or you move Holiday into the starting lineup and Horford's coming off the bench.
I was going to say, you're going to have at least 2 of, between Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, or Kristaps, at least 2 of them are going to be on the court at all times.
Yeah. And to say those 5 names together, granted, Derek White has come out in the last 3 seasons. But them 5 names, the fact that they're starting together is kind of mind-blowing to me.
It is. It's a great front. Yeah, it's a fantastic front 5.
It's good. And then you have old man Horford that is the do-anything man.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I'm a Celtics fan, and I'm riding them, but
Ayo.
Well, pause. Pause. But they have the best record, which I mean doesn't always translate into the playoffs, but I gotta take at least one. You know what I mean?
They're the
I
one
gotta
seed
do
for.
it.
There's a reason
Yeah.
they're like 10 plus games over the Bucks.
They're 12.
Okay, 12 games over the Bucks. I think we both can unanimously agree that the Celtics and the Nuggets are just the two teams that are like just head and shoulders above everybody else.
Quote unquote, they're the teams to beat.
Yes, yeah. And I don't have any money. I'm not putting money into the Celtics because I think they're just that favorite of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're up there for a reason. So yeah.
Yep.
So now we both have.
What are you doing with your money? You reinvesting? What are you reinvesting into?
So I'm looking at these teams down below because I'm like, I got to look down the list for these teams. You know what I mean? I have $9, and I see this little team in the Western Conference, kind of down in the standings, that their stock's worth $3.
Ooh.
And I'm like, you know what? Why should I not take my last $9 and buy 3 stocks in LaPookie James and Anthony Davis? I'm buying 3 more stocks on the Los Angeles Lakers. That gives me 8 stocks total on the Lakers, the most for any team. I know, ironic, blah, 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 whatever, fuck you. But I'm putting my last $9, my 3 stocks, into the Los Angeles Lakers. I just, if I look at any of these teams down on the lower part of our list that are worth like $3, $2, $5, I trust them the most out of anybody.
Yeah, that's understandable. And with my last $11, three of the stock into the Lakers.
Hell yeah.
That, like you said, that's 8. We both have $24 in the Lakers, I believe, at this point. Which is,
oh man.
I mean, like, but out of the teams that you said down there, I'm not putting it in the Sixers, not the Heat, not the Pacers, Heat, Sixers. I'm definitely not putting any into the Hawks, Bulls,
Yeah,
or Warriors. I'm not sold on the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting $9 in the Lakers, and then my last $2 I'm re-upping on the Rockets.
I like that. I think it's a good one.
Yeah, I have some diversity, but it's more Western Conference. But let's face it, the Western Conference is the better conference.
Mm-hmm. They have more teams that could make it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with my list.
Me too. I think we spread it out pretty good. You know, we picked some favorite teams, some teams that are favorites. We didn't put stockings. It's like they're a favorite for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We took some chances with our money, which is always fun when it's fake money. So
Yes.
It doesn't actually really matter.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, that is our I don't know what you want to call it, our NBA stock market. That's what it was.
NBA stock market.
Is there anything else you want to get out of here? You know, we talk about before we get out of here.
I'm gonna be honest, not really. Don't really have anything else to really talk about.
You kind of hit it before when the episode first started this time.
Yeah, you got about everything out of the way that I would talk about.
Well, and we're gonna wrap it up there. So thank you guys for listening to this episode, Time Out of J&G. If you're on Spotify, go to the page, leave us 5 stars. That helps us get out there. And if you're on Spotify, go to YouTube where we put up a video version. We're not like we have a video version. It's not us yet. We haven't got to that point yet. It's just kind of our thumbnail. But like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Same thing with YouTube. Go to like, comment, subscribe there on YouTube, and then go to our Spotify. Leave us 5 stars. We're just gonna push our content out there. Yeah, and we will see you guys on Saturday. Peace.